Hi, everybody. Matt Bernier, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker, taking a look at this weekend's Weekend Warrior. Saturday, March the 17th, 3 races all across the country, different surfaces, different distances. Doesn't matter, all sorts of good stuff. Let's start off, Mike, with the main event of the entire Turfway Park meeting. It's the Jeff Ruby Stakes, a little bit of an odd new name, but it is what it is. You've got a big full field of 3-year-olds in here, mile and an eighth on the synthetic surface. It looks like a crapshoot. Where are you going?
I'm going with Pony Up in here, Matt. This is the race that used to be the Spiral, and there are 20 Kentucky Derby points for the winner in here, which is less than the Rebel. Also on Saturday, but still it's points. And this race is run on Turfway synthetic surface, and I think Pony Up is ideally suited to handle it. Pony Up ran last time out in the Holy Bull, and he was completely out of his element on dirt, and he was also totally up against Audible, who's a legitimate top-notch Kentucky Derby contender. And it didn't help that Pony Up was also 3 to 4 wide around the racetrack. And, you know, you can't do that at Gulfstream going 2 turns. So I could forgive him for that race. It's really the race 2 starts back that kind of points him out to me. And that was a near miss of the Kitten's Joy Stakes on Gulfstream's turf. And he finished like a freight train in that race to narrowly miss to Flame Away. And Flame Away, of course, came back and he won the Sam F. Davis Stakes with a 93 buyer figure, beating the highly regarded Remsen winner Catholic Boy, and came back last Saturday to be a sharp second in the Tampa Bay Derby. So, I think Pony Up has run well against much better horses than he faces here. The only question is if he handles the synthetic surface, and the fact that he's run so well on turf alleviates my fears on that score.
Oaklawn Park Saturday, I think most people are going to be focused on the Rebel, but also on that race card is the Azeri. That is a lead up to the Apple Blossom coming up next month down there. Another interesting race where you've got a lot of horses that exit that Bayakoa that are getting ready for this race. Ultimately, where'd you land?
I don't want the horses out of the Bayakoa, I can tell you that, Matt. I went with Martini Glass in here. Martini Glass impressed me last time out. She won the Royal Delta Stakes, and she beat a high-class mare in Lewis Bay doing it. Lewis Bay is a multiple Grade 2 and Grade 3 stakes winner and was third in the 2016 Kentucky Oaks. She's really high class, and Martini Glass beat her on the square. 2 starts back, Martini Glass was third in the Houston Ladies Classic behind 2 horses she meets again on Saturday, that day being Tiger Moth and Actress. But I actually thought Martini Glass had the tougher trip of the 3 in that race because she was closer to an early pace that completely disintegrated. And then she dove to the inside in the stretch, and that's a move that 9 times out of 10 doesn't work when you dive to the inside during a stretch battle. So, I actually thought she ran every bit as well as Tiger Moth and Actress. She finished third behind those horses. I think it might help her price, even if she's coming off a win in the Royal Delta or Gulfstream.
Move out to the West Coast, Santa Anita, the lone Grade 1 of the weekend, the Santa Margarita, mile and an eighth on the main track. Unique Bella goes away with a little bit of a cough. That means that everyone else decided to come out to try to get a piece. Where'd you land?
Well, there are 2 things about this race that I find interesting, Matt. Number one, I don't think anybody in this race, with the possible exception of 1 horse, wants a mile and an eighth. This race, a mile and an eighth, and I think everybody in this race except 1 is a question mark at a mile and an eighth. There's also a lot of early speed in this race, and with the exception of 1 horse, nobody's really that much of a closer. And that horse who likes a mile and an eighth and also can close a little bit is Fault. But the problem with Fault is she's a turf horse trying dirt. But I thought, under the circumstances, she was worthwhile to take a shot with in here because I think the race is going to be one from off the pace. I think a lot of these horses are going to be looking for oxygen at the 8th pole. And I think Fault is, even though she's a turf horse, moving to a surface that she might not be able to handle, the race just sets up so well for her. And she does come into this off a career best performance last time out, winning the Buena Vista Stakes. And that was her first start for trainer Phil D'Amato. So she might be a brand new horse.
Competitive races coast to coast this weekend. The Weekend Warrior, Mike Watchmaker. You can find the full write-up over on drf.com. Great stuff as always, Mike. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you, Matt.